XDefiant has clearly fumbled the bag, shout out Le'Veon Bell. If you don't recall, XDefiant was supposed to be the big bad Call of Duty killer, and it was basically supposed to give Modern Warfare 3 a run for its money because of its movement, maps, and overall gameplay. And it's pretty clear at this point that XDefiant has just missed their window of opportunity to be a Call of Duty killer. With numerous delays and very little to show for it, I'm kind of getting worried about XDefiant here. It was a game I was kind of looking forward to because I really wanted to see what the full-fledged release of the game would look like, especially when it was actually being a true Call of Duty competitor. Part of that is due to the fact that the people working on the game were former developers of the original Call of Duty games. But as a game that is just marketed as, we're Call of Duty, but we're actually going to listen to the things that you really want in a video game, they pretty much shot themselves in the foot when Modern Warfare 3 news started coming out, and they're like, yeah, we're going to actually start listening to the community now. So every single thing that XDefiant was doing that players wanted, Modern Warfare 3 also started to do. Which then led to the game being delayed to like the beginning of this year, then ended up getting delayed to the summer of this year. I remember making a video basically saying that when the game was announced to be coming out in like October, November, I said delay the game. There's absolutely no point in you releasing the game around Call of Duty because you are not going to win that. Games like Titanfall 2, or even Battlefield games typically, when they were released around a Call of Duty game, don't do very well. Call of Duty will outperform them 9 times out of 10. Even if you were trying to be a Call of Duty killer and you were going to be probably pretty successful at doing that, you were better off delaying it. But here's the point. XDefiant would have been better off releasing earlier last year, maybe over the summer, maybe in like the spring, and giving people this free-to-play experience. It's a free-to-play game. If the game's a little buggy, if there's balancing issues and glitches, I'm not going to get as mad at a game that's free-to-play versus a game I'm paying $70 for. Because there's some part of me that understands I'm getting this for free, this is a kind of newer build, and you're doing me a service as a fan or as a new player of the game by giving me an experience I'm not having to really pay for unless I, want to. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for having polished video games. I think it's an amazing thing for the developers to turn around and say, we want to make sure this is the best game possible, but how much more can you really dump into this game? There was a point where I really felt like XDefiant was not a bad game. It felt pretty polished. The movement maybe needed to be dialed back a little bit. There were some glitches, some kind of latency issues in here, and like it wasn't anything over the top. And it just seems like it's delay after delay. And yes, there was also the delay because they were having issues with getting the okay to release on consoles. Apparently this happens when you're like in early builds of the games, and you typically, I guess, understand it, but it was weird that they just ran into this problem and said, we gotta delay the game even though we said this was gonna be the date it released. But we're at the point where I'm not gonna be surprised at all if by some strange reason we end up hearing XDefiant just got shut down and they moved all the developers to other projects, because it's kind of sounding like they aren't gonna release this, or if they do release it, it's not going to end up in a really good position to succeed. Which sucks, because I guarantee you what's going to happen when this game releases, or if it ever does release, is it's going to be all over TikTok. People will be talking about it for about 2 weeks, say it's the greatest thing ever, and all of a sudden it's just going to completely fall off, and there's going to be like this small kind of player base that exists for this game, and not many people are going to really talk about it unless there's like some big update for it. But it's going to be a nearly dead game. To recap, again, I really want the game to succeed, but I kind of doubt it's going to actually succeed. I really wanted XDefiant to be some sort of Call of Duty competitor because you need competition in video games. It's a good thing when you actually have an competitive market within genres. I mean, if you don't have that, you obviously have games like Call of Duty that just release broken and shitty every year, or even Madden is the best example because there's no longer like 2K games that release next to it. But I'd love to know what you have to say in the comment section below. What do you think of XDefiant? Do you think they'll actually release the game? Do you think it'll actually be good? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, great. Maybe consider leaving a like. And if you didn't, well, it's not getting much better than this. Thanks for watching, and well, bye.